If we build our house on the rock, it will stay. It will not falter. But if we build it on the sand, it will. Sexual intimacy, no matter how thrilling, has no capacity to sustain a relationship beyond 1 hour. I assume you remember the movie Grease, where the youngest couple there, they go off to her place, and he says, 1 hour. Somebody says 1 hour. And then one of the other guys says later, what do we do with them the 23 rest of the hours of the day? Exactly. If we base our relationships, our marriages, our friendships on sexual intimacy, we are screwing the pooch, as it were, on what it means to be whole, pure men and women of God. Sexual intimacy is critical, wholesome, and beautiful in marriage relationship. Outside marriage, sexual intimacy produces more pain and anguish, and I consider it dangerous to the desires of the young single adults. The late Lucky Dube cried, my mother didn't tell me the truth. My father didn't tell me the truth about the government. Mothers, please tell your sons. Please tell your daughters the truth. Fathers, please tell your sons the truth. Let fathers tell their sons the reason why they have no respect or why they have great respect for their mothers. Let them open up as to why they are not happy in their marriages for their sons, to their sons' mothers. Mothers, instead of telling your daughters to deal with men because you suffered in their hands as a result of your own mistakes, help them to stop ruining their lives. My people have a proverb that says the sheep is messing its tail up. Thinking is messing up the shed for its owner. When premarital sex is involved in a relationship, it is the girls or the women who lose the most, whether it continued into marriage or failed. The men always get what they want, sex. And the girls always lose what they want, love, care, or respect. 3 truly huge issues. Instead of premarital sex, dating partners can advance their relationship faster towards marriage if they use the opportunity of their dating to learn about one another and develop, build, and strengthen the foundational elements of joyful relationships enumerated above. Dating and courtship will be great fun games if the period is effectively utilized to test one's partner commitment, to grow friendship, respect for one another, understand the true meaning of love and sacrifices therein. For example, it would be great to know that love is not merely looking into another's eyes to discover how much sexual arousal we have evoked in them, but more about both partners looking at the same objective. This is part 2 right here because of how big an issue this is. Last week, I barely scraped the surface of it. This week, I am doing much more than that. This week, I want you to consider this. What are you doing in your relationships? How are you living them? Are you living them pleasing and holy to God? Or is there an aspect of the world in there? Is there an aspect of sexual impurity, of temptation, of anything like that? People, this week, I want you to read Not Even a Hint by Joshua Harris. It's about purity and maintaining that purity in relationship and how to avoid lust and temptation. I could give a whole sermon on that right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to end this right here by saying, think about what you're doing this week with your spouse, your friend, your significant other. How is that pleasing to God? How is what you're doing honoring the other person? How are you helping them grow in maturity to Christ? I would just ask one thing, that if you're not doing that, you take a step back and you ask somebody to show you how. Because you can't succeed in any of your relationships if you're not doing that. So, without further ado, I'm ending this right here and right now because I'm losing my voice. But I want you to honestly consider this. It's something that is very important to all of us, not just to me. Because when you ask others, it's important to them. How you are spiritually handling your relationships. So I pray right now that God gives you the strength and the wisdom to not only do the right thing, but how to act on it. That's my prayer for you right now. Because we're all screwed up and we can't get out of that because of the sin that we have in our lives. I'm not perfect and neither are you. Neither is anybody. So trust me when I say on this that a sexually whole relationship is what is important and what God is asking for. Thank you very much. This is Dr. McNinja.